skin, bones, blood, beak and claws. In fact, there are animal activists who go to all the chicken stalls and pick up the heads and the claws and feed it to dogs. That means a dog, and the bones too. So the dog can eat every part of the chicken. That is its real food, right? Whose mouth would salivate? Who would salivate if they saw a goat or a cow? Maybe a lion. But when we see something like this, then we salivate, right? And that's because of conditioning. We have been taught to eat these things, but instinctively we are not attracted. Similarly, if you see green fields of wheat and rice growing, does your mouth water? We feel good, but our mouth doesn't water, and that's because this is cow food. So now we're eating cow food, dog food, lion food. No wonder we're sick, right? It's like taking a car that runs on petrol and putting diesel, kerosene, petrol, and even cooking oil. How will the car run, right? And that's why we're getting so sick these days. Because the perfect food for us is foods that we look at and feel like biting. And you know, those of you who are cooking, when you're chopping carrots, sometimes you feel like just having a bite, right? But do you feel like that when you're chopping chicken? You feel like just taking a bite raw chicken? No. So these things are totally different, and manufacturers know this. So when they try to sell us shampoos or soaps or body care products, they may smell of fruits or even flowers, but they never smell of chicken or beef, right? That's because they are appealing to our instincts. That's why Bill Clinton was able to enjoy his diet after a few years, because he's eating the diet that's instinctual for our species. Now, there's a little more to the logic of eating plants. If you see the teeth of a carnivore, and then you see the teeth of a herbivore, and then you see the teeth of omnivores, true omnivores. And now, if we look at our own teeth, it's very clear that we're not omnivores. And that's why we're getting so sick. And all herbivores drink by sipping, and all carnivores drink by lapping, you know. And we too drink by sipping. So our whole anatomy is suitable to plant-based diet. And even our digestive system is totally different. And you know, vegetarians and non-vegetarians get the same disease. And that's because meat and milk have the same properties: high protein, high fat, and no fiber. And actually, every mammal produces milk only for their young. Milk is a growth fluid. It makes you grow, but also grow. And that's why when we stop consuming dairy, we start losing weight. It's one of the quick ways to lose weight. But you know, instinctively, every baby loves its mother's milk. But no baby wants cow's milk. And that's why mothers run around their kids with a glass of milk for years, until we are conditioned to believe that milk is the best food in the world. And we are actually being conditioned all the time by advertising. These are all the foods that we are attracted to just because of advertising. And I have a simple formula for my clients. I tell them that if you want to know what to eat and what not to eat, don't eat anything that has been advertised. Because what is in our instinct never needs an advertisement. So for example, you never see advertisements for carrots and cucumbers or apples and oranges, but you definitely see advertisements for milk, chicken, eggs. Have you seen all those advertisements? So we are being manipulated, we are being brainwashed by advertisements. And I agree that you as catering industry need to have food suitable for everyone. I mean, you definitely need to have food for clients who want to eat crap and get sick, but you also need to have food for clients who want to use food as medicine. So what is the natural food for human beings? Fruits, vegetables, beans, seeds, nuts, and definitely not meat, fish, chicken, and eggs and milk. Now, we go a step further and we eat foods only the way nature has designed them for us. So we don't eat man-made food. For example, we don't use oil. You saw that Clinton doesn't use oil. Why? Because oil is a man-made substance. However, peanuts, coconut, sesame, mustard, these are God-made or nature-made substances. So when we replace oil with one of these. And we'll be showing you how. So whole foods basically means eat like a monkey. Eat the part of food which a monkey would, because we are actually primates. Monkeys are our closest relatives. And we are born with the same tools as monkeys have. We don't have claws. We don't have fangs. But we have hands. Right? And so a monkey would eat a watermelon like this, or a monkey would peel the banana but never peel an apple, or a guava, or a pumpkin, or lauki, or a carrot, or a cucumber, or a beetroot, or a potato. And so we don't take out the peel. And actually the peel has the maximum nutrition, but it also has fiber. And fiber cleans our body. So the common refined foods that we use are oil and fats like butter, ghee and margarine, and sugar and white flour and white rice, and processed foods and soft drinks and all the ready substances of refined foods. But what we want to do is increase whole foods in our diet. So we want all the fiber available. And we, juice or jaggery or even almond milk is not considered a whole food because all the fiber isn't there. So for example, if we are doing a whole plant-based diet, the kind that Clinton had, or the kind that Virat Kohli had, then we would use peanuts, and we would even use peanut butter which is made from whole peanuts. But we would not use peanut oil because the fiber has been removed. And actually, right under the skin is the maximum nutrition. So this chart shows all the nutrients that are lost when you just remove the skin of the wheat to make maida. So you can see that you lose 25% of the protein, 95% of the fiber, but more than 50% of all the other nutrients. And that's why, have any of you ever eaten whole rice, brown rice, or red rice? Has anyone eaten that? Please put up your hand if you, great. So if you eat whole rice, how much do you eat compared to white rice? You eat much less, you eat half. Imagine you just remove the skin and you have to eat double. Wow. So if you want to lose weight and you stop peeling everything and you start eating everything whole, then like all the other animals on the planet, we will not be overweight. Nutrients and taste go hand in hand. So you can do this experiment with a carrot. You take a carrot and wash it and cut it into 3 parts. The first part you grate and taste it. The second part you peel it, grate it and taste it. And the last part you peel, grate and put it in a glass of water for just 1 second. That's like chopping your vegetables and then washing them. And taste it. And you will see that the taste goes down at every level. So we have to see how we can get more flavor and more nutrients and more filling with less food so we can lose weight without dieting. So whole foods are much more filling. This chart shows that if you had 500 calories of oil, it would fill your stomach only this much. But 500 calories of cheese would fill a little more, of meat a little more, of rice and potatoes and beans more. But if you had 500 calories of fruits and vegetables, it won't even fit in your stomach. And so we can eat more and weigh less if we eat the right food. Empty calories are often hidden, and you as catering, you know this. Because you know that if you want to make something more attractive, then you could put sugar in it. Ketchup is full of sugar. Pizzas and burgers eaten in restaurants contain sugar. And 1 can of Coke contains 10 spoons of sugar. Sugar is addictive. Now our goal is to make the food very tasty, because without taste nobody will buy it. So it has to be very tasty, but not containing any of these foods which don't have nutrients. So we want to make foods only of the foods that are perfect for us. And we are going to do a kind of training where we'll have some vegan foods that are whole and plant-based, and some vegan foods which also contain oil and sugar, so that you can learn both. Because some people are vegan for other reasons. We'll talk about that. But our formula at Sharan is that everything should be plant-based, whole, actually even organic, and we should supplement only 2 vitamins, vitamin B12 and D. And we avoid all the things which are harmful in the kitchen as well. So we don't use microwave, we don't use aluminum, and we don't use Teflon or non-stick. And you know, the kitchens that we have worked with, for example, Swasthwana was one of the first resorts that invited us. They don't even have any of these things in their kitchen. So they are already catering to those clientele who want high quality foods that we use. And then, as I was saying, there are a lot of people who are vegan for the environment. And they may not mind a bit of sugar or a bit of oil. And let me tell you why they're vegan for the environment. I want to show you a short clip. vegan because they want to do things to improve the environment. And then there are activists all over the world who are vegan for animals. And they recognize, this is actually me, I did an internship in a place called Farm Sanctuary, and this was a rescued cow called Harold. He was left to die, a male cow. He was left to die of starvation just because he had diarrhea. He was separated from his mother the day he was born. And somebody rescued him, and we took him up and looked after him. And it was just like taking care of a dog or a cat or even a baby. When he said his first move, we were all like, oh, you know, how cute. And we were just so excited to see this calf growing. And you know, in the dairy industry, every male calf faces the same fate. Sometimes, even the first milk, the colostrum, is sold as a delicacy. So if you can see every living being as yourself, then you know that every calf has a life and a reason to be on the planet too. And that's the same with pigs and chickens and goats. And you know, they all die as babies because we want to eat them. But they are very intelligent creatures. And I just want to show you a video of one such chicken that was rescued.
He loves to make the bed in the morning. He loves to jump through streets. He likes to help weed the flower garden. I cannot imagine my life without him. I scooped him up and he seemed really content in my hand, and I had him do some office work with me, and it was hard not to fall in love with him. And I was leaving for the day, so it was like this knee-jerk reaction. It just came out of my mouth. I was like, I'll take him. I brought him home to foster him. Chicks that age should be under their mothers who newborn. And basically I became his surrogate mother. He went everywhere with me, or he would sleep in my sweatshirt and cuddle up to me, and every day I fell more and more in love with him. And I just learned very quickly that he's this wonderful sentient being that just wants to be loved, like all of us, just like a cat or a dog or a human baby. I had fallen asleep on the sofa. He was really quiet that day. Like, he really sensed that I wasn't feeling well. And when I woke, he was laying across my chest. I remember waking up thinking, I didn't even know that chickens laid down. And so all of a sudden it became very aware, like this sentient being is bonded to me. That was that turning point day where I thought, wow, I feel like he's part of my family. I don't know if I could give him to a sanctuary. Chickens grow very rapidly. Breed was constantly changing. One day, a couple months later, he crowed. Crowing is usually the telltale sign that he was a rooster. So here I was, living in New York City at the time with Bree the rooster, and I had to make a decision, and Bree made the decision for me because I chose Bree. It was probably the best decision I ever made. But I think I fail to realize how attached he is to me. When I come home after a day of work, he'll do the happy dance for me, and I pick him up, or he'll follow me into my office. That gives me a special feeling, because for me, he's such a gift. That means so much. Chickens as a whole are very, very smart animals. He loves technology, like he's actually watching us, watching you. He's an avid reader. Be able to provide him a good home and to provide him with love. That's part of my mission. He's enriched my life so much, I think without him, it wouldn't be as joyful. What do you think? Oh, the big wings, that's like a good sign.
So the reason we can eat them is just because we haven't been in touch with them, right? And we are breeding animals. In fact, today we are 7 billion plus people, and 70 billion plus land animals are slaughtered every year for food. And they are all sentient beings just like we. And we don't recognize that they have feelings and they have needs. And often, you can see these trucks with chickens going for slaughter, and even the dead ones are still lying there because of the way they are brought up. They're put in cages, they don't even have a floor under them their entire life. And the egg-laying hens are made to lay 250 eggs a year. A normal hen lays 25. So what are we doing to these beings? And the global demand for meat is actually unsustainable, because then our earth won't support us. But the world is changing fast, and all over the world, especially in the Western world, things are changing. So can you read all this from the back there? Yes? Okay. So
Add a burger, America's best friend. Juicy, tender, mouth-watering. Since time immemorial, it's practically been our country's third trademark.
There I eat the 14 hamburger first time I went there.